Today's practice, we are obviously going to use a chair. So make sure you've got a nice sturdy chair that's not going to roll around underneath of you. And I'm going to scoot back a little bit so that you can see what I look like seated in my chair, but I want you to just go ahead and make sure your space is set up exactly how you want it today. You may be turning on a little bit of music at home, or kind of gathering some props so you've got what you might need. I'm going to show you some yoga blocks today. You don't need these, you don't need to run out and order these, but if you do own yoga blocks, or even just a couple big sturdy books off of a shelf, sometimes those might be a nice thing to bring into your chair yoga practice. We often use blocks because when we go to sit on the floor, not all chairs are made to fit our bodies. So sometimes we need a little bit of support or something to lift our feet up a little higher. So I know you can't really see. Let me see if I turn sideways here, you can see what I'm doing. So I take my blocks, set them up on the floor, and then my feet go on them. That helps me get better angles for my hips. Helps me feel a little more comfortable in the chair. So again, you can use some big blocks, some big books rather, some yoga blocks, or even pillows or something on the couch would be fine too. Not all of us are going to need that, but if it helps your legs feel a little bit more centered, then great. Go ahead and scoot all the way back to the back of your chair so that your spine can feel fully supported, resting in that seat. I want you to close your eyes. Oftentimes when we first start our yoga practice, it can be difficult for us to find a way to relax, find a way to kind of turn off our busy minds. So just use these opening moments to do just that. All I'm focusing on right now in this particular moment is my breath. I'm letting a nice big inhale come in through the nose. And just an easy exhale back out. Maybe even bring your hands to your belly, and as you inhale, you'll feel your belly grow big. Exhale breath, you'll feel your belly button move in towards your spine. Just nice and slow here, making connection with that breath. Two more. Last one. Take the hands off the belly and just let the arms start to dangle down to the sides of the chair. Let your right ear easy fall towards your right shoulder, little opening of the left side of the neck. And then inhale to pull this back to center. Exhale, let it go the other way. Inhale back to center. Exhale, let it fall away. Back to center. And then let it fall away. Inhale, bring the head back up over the spine. Let the right ear slowly fall towards the right shoulder. Right hand might even come up and rest itself on your head. You might bring your left arm kind of out to the side and then just draw a little circle here with this left hand. If that feels like too much, just let that arm dangle or take this hand off the head and only focus on that arm out to the side. Next natural inhale, bring your head back up over spine. Left ear towards left shoulder. Left hand comes and rests on the head. Right hand reaches out to the side and maybe it takes that same circling motion. Check your spine, make sure you're still seated nice and tall. Inhale, breath, bring your head back up over spine, both hands out to the side. This time, just take some circling motions. Lifting the shoulders up towards your ears, letting them fall down. Let's go the other way, lift it up towards the ears, let it fall down. When you feel ready, inhale, breath brings hands high above your head. Let your palms touch. And then exhale this down into your heart. Take two more just like that. So your breath goes in as you reach up. Breath goes out as it comes down. In as you go up. Out as you come back down. Inhale to lace your fingers together and then just press these palms forward towards your screen. Take a little moment to rock from right to left, right and left. And then inhale, breath, bring the hands up over your head. You're going to keep a little bend in the elbows and then just kind of tip, just slightly side to side. Still keeping it back, resting in that chair. Not a lot of work here, just see if you can open up a little bit of the sidewall. If this doesn't feel good in your hands or your wrists, you can break the hands free and just kind of rock in a cactus type shape. All right, go ahead and bring that back to center. Reach the hands up as high as you can get them. Turn your palms so they face forward and then just sweep the hands down. Turn your palms so they face up towards the ceiling, sweep up. Flip your palms, face forward, sweep down. Flip your palms, sweep up. Flip your palms, sweep down. Last one, sweep up. Exhale, sweep down. Perfect. Hands are going to come to the chair. I'm going to take my feet off of my blocks now, or my books that I've gathered, and start to move myself out a little further in the seat. I'm going to turn sideways just a moment so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm moving myself out. I'm not all the way to the back. I'm about midway or out towards the base of the seat. My hands are going to move towards my knees. And I'm going to take an inhale breath to let the belly move through the middle. A little lift of the chin. Exhale breath around the back, around the spine. Now it might feel good that as you inhale, you move your hands back towards your hip creases, expand through the chest, and then when you exhale, you slide your hands back forward. Take your time. Again. Last one. Perfect. Bring the hands up nice and strong. Inhale, reach up. You're going to let your hands connect together above your head and then just lean a little bit to the right. Back to center, lean a little bit to the left. Back to center, bring the hands down to your right. All right, staying right there, I'm going to shift one more time just so you can see me a little better. You're going to take your right hand to your left knee. And then your right hand is going to reach up above your head and over to the side. Now, if this hand doesn't feel comfortable all the way on that knee, just reach over to the top of the thigh. You should be feeling lots of big stretch down the side body here, maybe even all the way up into that shoulder. Exhale, let that hand come down, and then we'll switch sides. This time, left hand reaches over towards the right knee, right hand reaches up towards the ceiling, and then we'll stretch it over. So you notice I'm not leaning forward, I'm staying nice and tall with my spine, and I'm trying to open up all the muscles right here along the rib cage through these intercostals. Perfect. Big inhale. Exhale, let the hand come down. Hands go out to the side, and then you're just going to do a little twist here. So depending on how much space you have with the back of your chair, you're just letting your hands kind of float as you twist through your spine. The next time your hands are towards your right leg, see if you can pause them there and look over that right shoulder. Find a round of breath, pull your spine nice and tall. Exhale it out. Let the hands sweep. Next time they're over to the left, find maybe hand towards hip, hand towards thigh, sit tall, look over that left shoulder. Again, seeing if we can pull through the crown of the head, lifting the spine tall. Perfect. Unwind from that twist. Hands go back to the fronts of the knees. Revisit that flexion breath. Inhale, hands sweep back, chest opens, maybe lift the chin. Exhale, breath, round the spine. 2 more. Last one. Good work. See if you can stretch your legs out nice and long out in front of you. You're going to reach the hands up over your head. Lift your palms so that they face forward, and then just kind of lean slightly forward towards those toes. We're not trying to bend completely over and touch our toes. We're just trying to see if we can keep some length in our upper body and our lower body. Beautiful. Start to bend the knees, walk them back. Hands come down. Right knee's going to come up off the earth. Option to hug here on the back of the thigh, or flexibility allows to move towards the chin and hug the knee and up a little higher. Feel free. So wherever you feel most comfortable. But see if we can keep our spine nice and tall. We're not hunched over, pulling that knee up. See if you can keep this spine up high. Roll around the ankle a little bit on that right foot. Maybe point and flex the toes. If your grip has been on the shins, switch it to the back of the thigh and then just push through that heel and see if you can make this leg go long. Soften the knee, lower it down. Let's switch sides. Opposite knee starts to come up towards the chest, just as you did before, pointing and flexing the toes, holding on wherever you feel best, watching that spine, see if you can keep your shoulders relaxed down from your ears. Lots of movement in your ankles, your toes. See if you can switch the grip to the back of the thigh, push through that heel, let the leg go long. And it's okay if let the leg go long is way down here. We're going to all have different levels of comfort. You're not going to always match me. Remember that. And it's okay. That's not the goal. The goal is not to look like perfect form, what you think in your head. The goal is just to find what feels good in your own body, become aware of the poses that feel nice. Spin that knee down. Good work. All right, let's just do a little bit of work with your shoulders, lift them up and down. And then you're going to take your arms out wide in a T shape. Palms are flipped forward. So we're going to hold here until your shoulders really start to feel warm. So I'm going to add just a little bit of movement. You can see me kind of pulsing my shoulders. And I'm going to go up and down, maybe even lifting them up and rolling them down my spine. That feels good to you. And you're going to take your right hand and just lean slightly out like you're trying to grab something over there to the right, and then move it back to center. Lean like you're trying to grab something from the left, and then back to center. Lean and center. I'm feeling all of this in my side body. As I work my obliques, I'm pulling my belly button in towards my spine and keeping my spine nice and tall. 2 more. Last one. Arms should feel tired. That's very normal. All right, we're going to soften this up by bringing the spine tall again and bend your elbows. Inhale here. Exhale, pull these elbows in. Inhale, open. Exhale, close them up. Go again. Inhale, open. Exhale, close them up. Inhale, open. Fall forward. Stand them up. Let them fall forward. Last one. Hands just relax. Give the shoulders a little bit of movement. They might be a little achy. I've gotten a little bit of work happening there. So whatever feels good to kind of talk about that with the body, let it work those kinks out. All right, good. When you feel ready, we're going to start to move into a couple standing postures. So we're going to bring ourselves up out of the seat. And then move yourself in a position where you can still see, but you can step behind your chair. You have space behind you. That's where we're going to work from. So I'm going to turn sideways so that all of these poses that I do from now on, you should be able to really be able to see my legs and the position there. So if you need to readjust your camera at home or your screen so that you can see a little better, take the time to do so. All right, when you're ready, you're going to step your right foot backwards. Put your right toes on the ground. Let's see if you can keep your heel up off the earth. I want you to be in a position where this front knee can bend. But when it bends, it's still in a nice line with that ankle. Push back through this back heel, get a little bit more extension out of those legs. If you feel comfortable here, you can stay right there. Otherwise, see if your left hand can lift and start to reach forward, as if there was something out here in space you were looking for. Trying to grab into that. Pull an energy line from your fingertips all the way to that back foot. Perfect. Bring this hand down to the chair. See if you can test your balance enough to bring both hands up. Maybe they just stretch straight forward so the chair is easy to grab, or maybe they go up a little higher, or maybe even all the way up. You should be feeling this in your back leg, maybe some work in the front quad, maybe some work in the shoulders. Hands come down and look for the chair. Take this front foot, step it back so it can meet your back foot. Put both your feet flat on the floor and walk yourself so that your back can start to flatten out. See how flat my back is on the screen. Maybe you need to bend your knees in order to do that, but you're trying to just kind of pull through the tip of your tail to extend your spine nice and long. You are looking down to the floor. So you're not looking straight forward, you're not looking at a screen, you're trying to let your head relax. Through the shoulders, your gaze down here. Perfect. Take your time, slowly use an inhale breath to lift your chest up. You're going to keep your left foot back this time. Step forward with your right foot, and then lift so that your left heel is not touching the ground. And the left leg is back this time so you can reach your right hand out, as if you're trying to reach for something out here in space. Let that hand come down, give yourself a little reset. Both hands start to reach out. Testing that balance, good work. Continue to breathe. Hands come down and look for the chair. Take your front foot, big step back. See if you can make that flat spine again. Breathe into this shape. Feel length from the tip of your tail all the way up to your fingertips. Good work. Slow steps forward, inhaling as you walk forward to your chair. And then you're just going to step right here behind it. See if you can put some weight into your left foot and just lift your right leg to kind of hang just above the ground. Now the toenails on my right foot are pointed down towards the floor, and I'm going to stay here for a breath. If I feel comfortable, my right hand might stay on the chair, but I might reach forward with that left hand, just like I did in my balance test with our crescent lunge. See if we can make ourselves look nice and long. Perfect. Bring that hand back down. Bend this knee. And then place it down on the earth. Switch sides. Opposite leg becomes your balancing leg. Foot reaches back. Toes are just above the earth. Toenails reaching down. Opposite hand might reach forward. Make the body look nice and long. Extending out into space, really testing balance. One of the wonderful things about doing chair yoga is because you have that safety net, that stability force, you can challenge your balance a little bit more than you might feel comfortable in one of our gentle yoga classes. Hand comes down, looks forward to chair, bend this knee, bring it down, place it on the earth. Good work. From here, left foot steps back. Turn your left foot so it now becomes parallel with a mat. So if you have a yoga mat or a beach towel, something you're standing on. See if we can get it parallel that way. The other foot is pointed straight forward towards your chair. Now your front hand might stay on your chair because that's where you feel most comfortable. And you might do a warrior two like this. Your hips are to the side. You might have this front heel in line. If you do a straight line from the heel, might be in line with your big toe, and might be reaching out behind you. You might choose to bring the hand up off the chair, and you almost look like you're riding a surfboard. Your gaze is forward over this front hand. Your shoulders are relaxed. Take another breath here. Now option, inhale, breath, hands lift up above your head. You're going to kind of touch in a high prayer, and then you go back in. If that feels like too much, just let one arm come up. The other arm can stay on the chair. If you feel too wobbly, remember this hand can stay on the chair. You can just operate with one arm. Last one. Watching that front knee, making sure it's not going out over the ankle, it's a good line. Beautiful. Let the hands come down. Front hand looks for this chair, and you're going to do a little twist on this back toe, almost like you're kind of smudging something in the dirt with that back foot. And then you're going to take a big step all the way forward with this front leg. So you're going to step up, bring this foot with it, and you're just going to let it hover, almost a peg leg shape here. See if you can get your spine nice and tall, and this leg is just kind of hanging out. Maybe it goes side to side, maybe it goes forward and back. Testing some ankle strength on that standing leg, building bone density as we push weight down into the earth on that standing foot. Good. All right, go ahead and let this foot drop down. Next time you're going to step back with your right foot. You're going to spin it until it becomes parallel. Pay attention to this front knee. Make sure when it bends, it goes straight down into the ankle. Toes are facing off to the side. And now you should be angled in the other direction. Now, just as we did before, we took just a couple moments here to find this warrior two. Knowing we can put a hand on the chair if we need it, or reach out nice and long. And then begin to play. The inhale breath brings hands up. Maybe they touch above your head in that prayer shape. Exhale it back down. Remembering if that feels too much, hand can stay on the chair. This can be really fluid and easy here. Or you can be testing your balance. Really looking for some strength. Letting the exhale escape the body as you feel like a warrior. Last one. Front hand looks for the chair again, back hand's gonna start to spin as we think about kind of smudging or smushing something down into the dirt there with those back toes. Another big step, using this front leg for strength. Step forward, and then let it peg leg, just as you did before. Kind of swing sideways. You can always test your balance by bringing your hands away from the chair. Good. Let those feet settle down into the earth. Now, if your chair's been way up here at the front of the mat like mine, go ahead and take a step back. Take this chair back with you just a little bit. Now, I'm going to turn my chair at a slight angle just so that you can see my feet a little bit better. My right foot's going to stay down into the ground as my left foot starts to build a little kickstand and my hip comes out to the side. Now we're going to do this on both sides, so it doesn't really matter which foot you start with if you'd rather start on the other leg. But get your spine tall. Now you've got your chair here, so you certainly can always use that, or you might decide you're ready to bring your hands in here to your heart. The base level tree is toes on the earth. Of course, those toes can move up to the inner calf if you feel like you want it to, or you go even higher, maybe you help it and bring it up here to the inner thigh. Knowing you've always got that safety of the chair there, you can bring hands to your heart. Some even start to reach their hands up. But find something that's not moving out in front of you to really test your balance. Quiet the mind. Hard to have much of a to-do list when you're trying to stay upright. Hard to be worried about what's happening tomorrow or later this afternoon. When you're trying to stay right here, standing on one foot. Perfect. Let that foot come down. I want you to separate your feet, maybe as wide as your chair legs, and just kind of rock around a little bit side to side. Feel free to even kind of stick your tush out behind you and roll around anything in your hips that feels a little sticky. And then reset. Left foot becomes your standing foot, right toes into the earth. Remembering that your hands can always stay on the chair. Or maybe they come to your heart, drop your shoulders down from your ears, get your spine nice and tall, and then start to find whatever your version of tree is going to be. Again, finding something that's not moving to focus your attention on. Great. Hands are going to come back down. Let them look for chair. Feet move to the earth. Rock those hips a little bit side to side. Bend the knees. Roll out the ankles. Anything that feels like it needs a little bit of attention. Great. Move your chair back up if you can toward the top of your mat. Get yourself grounded and centered into the earth. One more little balance test and then start to work our way back to some hip stretches in the feet. So hands come to the top of the chair. Move your weight to your right foot. Start to stretch those left toes behind you like you did before. But this time, as you exhale, you're going to bend this knee up towards your chest. Inhale it long. Exhale, bring it up. Now, if you're looking for more balance work today, hand and leg can go. So you'll notice I'm doing the opposite arm of my bent knee. But you don't have to add that arm. If that feels like too much, Just function with this leg. Watch your back. You don't want a big hunch in the back, so see if you can stay tall. If your chair is not tall enough for you to do that, move and put your hands on the wall. Give yourself one more. And then plant that foot back down onto the earth. We're going to walk our feet all the way back towards the back of the mat like we did before, trying to make that spine nice and long. Gaze is down towards the earth. This time, separate your feet a little wider and take a little sway in your hips. Perfect. Take your time. Feet start to walk back. Move back up here towards your chair. All right, this time stretch your right leg long. Exhale. Inhale. Now this doesn't have to be as big as I'm showing. It can just be a little bend and a stretch. Be a little bend and then a stretch. And if this outer hip starts hurting, it's probably because you're sitting into it rather than lifting with your spine to keep yourself nice and long. Remembering that when you go long, if you want to add an arm, you can. And if your chair feels too short, turn and use the wall. Or a couch, or a countertop, or a table. That's because it says chair yoga, it really just means we're going to use props. So decide what feels good to you. And if you're moving too fast today, and maybe you need to slow down, that's okay too. Take that last one. Put your feet back on the ground. Go look for your chair, or maybe put your hands on the wall even, and just kind of walk it out. Let that spine get long, just as you did before. And 3 more full breaths, really exhaling. You're in the safety of your home. Let that breath move in and out of your body. Let your upper back feel some openness, some length. And if this doesn't feel good there, put your hand lower on the chair. Flip your chair and put your hands on the seat. There's always ways that you can change this up and make it fit you. We're not all one size fits all. So sometimes this isn't something that feels great in every body. Sometimes we have to modify, change things up, get more comfortable. All right, beautiful work. Next natural inhale starts to walk these feet forward towards your chair. And then you're going to come back towards your seat. So move your chair wherever you feel it makes the most sense for you to sit in it now. Bring the blocks so that they're nearby if you decide you want to use those again when you're seated. And we're not going all the way to the back of the chair just yet. I'm going to still kind of operate sideways a little bit so that you can see what I'm doing. But we're like midway back the chair. Good. Right foot is going to come up off the ground. And option to crisscross high at your knees. If that feels good in your body, great. If it doesn't, you've got a block handy, you can uncrisscross and turn sideways a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. You can set that ankle right on the block. For a book, for a pillow, whatever feels good. So sit tall for your spine. See if you can reach your arms out wide. And then whatever leg is on top, I want that arm to reach around towards your armpit. The other arm's going to reach around towards your shoulder. And just give yourself a big hug. Maybe even close your eyes. Perfect. Let your arms go wide. And then just bring them down and rest them on the top of this front knee, the top knee, and just kind of lean a little forward towards that knee. Gaze is out in front of you. Spine is nice and long. Perfect. Use the next inhale breath to come back up nice and tall. Uncross the legs. Now let's go the other way. So you may crisscross high on this side, or you might adjust that block like you had before. Give your foot something to rest on. Knees may be more relaxed. Now whatever knee is on the top, that's the arm that's going to reach around and look for your armpit. I think I did my arms wrong last time. Is that right? Yeah, I did my arms wrong. I explained it one way, but I think I did them backwards. So regardless, just give yourself a hug with the other way. And if you can't remember, like I can't, just uncross the arms and hug yourself the other way and see how it feels. Sit tall through the spine. There's usually at least one moment in the class where we can't remember how to mirror, or right from our left, or which side we just did, or how many times we did. Arms reach out, we're only human. Hands move down to the knees and fold forward. All right, start to use your inhale breath to bring your chest back up. Uncross your legs. And again, I'm going to stand a little sideways here so you can see my feet better. We're going to let our knees touch, and we're going to start to, or our feet touch rather. Let our knees start to fall out and open towards the side. This looks like bound angle pose. Now, of course, if your yoga practice is comfortable down on the floor, this is the part of the practice where you can get up out of your chair and head to the seat. So I'm going to show you first seated. My feet are touching, my knees are out to the side. I'm still about halfway out in my chair because I want my core to still have to engage a little bit and sit tall. This is first option. Second option, if you want to lose the chair, you can turn it so that the seat part faces down your mat. And you can come sit right in front of it in that bound angle pose. So your options either stay in the chair for the rest of the practice. I'll show you those ways to do those poses. Or you can do everything I'm doing in the chair in this bound angle or a little crisscross. Okay? So find what feels good to you. Of course, this is called chair yoga, so I'm going to model most of them in the chair. Sit nice and tall. Start to sit tall through the spine. Stand those knees up if they've been in down angle. Those of you on the floor can just go to a crisscross. Those in the chair, maybe plant your feet flat on the earth. You might look through your blocks again. Scoot yourself all the way back in the seat. Place the blocks down onto the earth and get your spine nice and comfortable. Hands again might set themselves in a position where they're facing upward on the lap, resting on the belly, off to the side, wherever you feel most at ease. Revisit anything that the neck might be asking for. Gentle sweeping of the chin along the front of your t-shirt. An easy lifting of your chin towards the ceiling. Perfect. As you start to feel that this practice is appropriately ready to end, come to an end, just get yourself cozy in your seat. Maybe bringing the hands to the belly, flat to the lap, palms to the sky, shoulders down, away from your ears. This is a seated savasana. And this might feel really nice for you to just take a couple long, full breaths, seated right here. Other options include moving yourself down towards the floor. As I described before, you can take your time to move down towards the earth. Your chair can stay sideways like mine is modeled, or you can turn it face towards you. Maybe a block or a blanket comes into the space, goes underneath the head. You might lift your feet for just a little gentle inversion, and then just breathe here. So your choice as to how you'd like to finish off today's practice. Spine on the ground, eyes closed, feet lifted. Maybe you even just move down to the floor so that you can lay on your side. Or you stay right there in that chair. And a nice tall spine, seated meditation, seated savasana. With the only task at hand being to breathe. That's all we're trying to do. Let the breath move slowly in through the nose and exit back out. Let the breath move slowly in through the nose and exit back out. In through the nose and exit back out. Slowly starting to become aware of your breath, aware of simple movements to wake your body back up. Maybe those are wiggling of the fingers, or wiggling of the toes. If you're laying down on the floor, you might kind of roll around or stretch your arms up overhead. Even if you're in a seat, it might feel nice to just open up that chest and move around a little bit here. If you are laying on the earth, roll yourself to your right hand side. Use your right arm as a pillow. Rest there for a couple breaths. And then gently work your way up to the feet. Even if that's just something that looks like a crisscross. You can come back and join us in your chair. We'll close out today's practice similar to how we always do, bringing the hands into the heart. Each teacher has their own way of kind of closing out the practice. Oftentimes I read a little saying or quote with you. But the idea is always the same. We're grateful not only for you choosing SIFT as part of your wellness journey, but also just grateful that you're making time for yourself. Whether you were brought to today's class for physical reasons, or mental, emotional, spiritual, whatever it was, if you just felt a little drained and you needed some yoga, we're glad that you found us. So we hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you again. Namaste.